Okay, I'm back. Back with the um, rate experience, my job experience. Yeah, so he looks, the man who's in the Navy, who's sitting next to me, he looks down. And guys, you can tell when people look, and they, not one person said, "Oh, it's a horrible job," but I could tell by the looks on their faces. So then one of the ladies, I went to him and I called my husband, and I'm like, there, I'm like, all this stuff is saying that this is a horrible rate and I can't do this. And he's just like, well, if you have to leave, leave. We'll come back later. Or, you don't have to worry about even, joining if it's not what you want to do. Because you don't want to be stuck in for 4 years doing something that you're going to hate, pretty much. I mean, you might not have a choice where you can move or where you can live or things, but like at least enjoy going to work every day. So I'm sitting there, and the recruiter lady from my office, she's from the town I'm from. She comes in and she's all, I went in undesignated and it helped me, and in 2 years I got to not class up. Oh, rate up? No, it's not called rate up, but you get to pick your job. And she was like, I loved it, and I'm us little people are feisty. So I go up to the people, and I didn't want to talk to her because when it's a lot of this in your ear, like you just don't want to deal with it. So I was pretty much, and that was my first day meeting her. I didn't know her, but she works at my recruiting office, but I didn't know her, and she was another black girl. But I mean, I just didn't want to deal with her. She, it seemed like I could have related to her a lot, but she was, I don't know. That time I didn't want to hear it. So I go to the, and I had already signed the papers. I had signed the contract for the designated. That's the thing. I signed the contract. So I go to the front desk at the office, and I told her, I said, can I talk to that um, career man again? Because I was like, because I need changes. I can't do this. And so she understood because, trust me, they know what they're doing. And she knew that wasn't a good rate. It's not for me. Anyway. So yeah, so she was like, okay, I'll get him to talk to you. So anyway, I go back to talk to him, back to the little short man who looked like he knew it was a bad rate. So I go back and talk to him, and he's just like, this is all we have available, and this is the best I can do, and he tells me, now come on, I'm 100 pounds, I am 5 foot. He tells me, well, the computer goes based off your your size, pretty much, and your gender, and what you made on your scores. And he tells me that that's the only choice that they had. I mean, I'm small. In this construction thing, how am I gonna lift that stuff? Pretty much. I don't play no instruments. I don't know. Musician? I don't know. So I'm telling y'all, I had put some bass in your voice. Now you can hear my voice, but I had bass that day, and I just told him I can't do this, and thank you for today, but I'll come back. Don't leave if you don't you're not comfortable with what you're doing. This is your life. Don't settle. So I'm getting a little loud with him. I'm a person that my voice carries also, and when I'm excited, and I might, it just got a little loud. Not disrespectful loud, but, just loud. I'm trying to make my point, get my point across. And I'm just like, I can't do this and all this. So by then, I'm getting up to leave, and he was like, well, we're just gonna, I'll hold your paperwork, and if you change your mind, just come back and talk to me. And he's still talking real low. He's not explaining anything very well. And so I'm leaving because y'all, I'm not doing this. Here, take your contract back. I don't want to do that. So I go to, I'm leaving, and by then the manager comes. He's the manager of the office, so I guess he's a chief or master chief or something. I don't know. But he comes and he's like, Mrs. So-and-so, and said my name, and he was like, I couldn't help but overhear your conversation, and I don't think that you're understanding, you know, what can be done. So, anyway, me and him sat and talked for 30 minutes. He was the man who can change your rate. He can change your rate. So he was like a big time person. So he tells me, he was like, well, just sign this contract. And he was like, I promise. It was a Friday, I think. He was like, I promise by Tuesday I have your rate changed. He got the folder and he was like, this is how many papers that I have to change their rate. So he was like, right now just sign it, just so I wouldn't have to go back and do do height and weight and all that stuff. So he's like, just do this, and it's a form. I will maybe write in the information, but it's a form that you can get filled out, and you can change your rate if once you get there and you don't like it. So he was like, I will change your rate for you. And he told me, he was like, he was a PS, the personal specialist. He was like, if I had to do it over, he'd been in for 20 years. He was like, if I had to do it over, I would do this. And he printed me out the paper. He was like, because I get, I don't know. That's his job that he's doing for so long. So maybe he knew something that I didn't know. But how you can really feel that people are there for you. They're trying to help you and they're really genuine. And I really felt that from him. And so he was like, well, I would do this. And he pulled me the paper with the logistics specialist, LS Wright. And it sounds like a good job, And I've been looking online, and I think I'm going to like it. At least I hope I do. But I'm just to tell you that you don't have to settle. Don't settle. Oh, and then another thing. So we talked for 30 minutes, and he was like, just sit down and talk to me so that I will remember you, so I know to change your paperwork. So we sat and talked for 30 minutes, and he was just telling me about his experience, where he moved, where he's lived, who had the highest, cost of living, what coast had the highest cost of living, and, just things like that. And he was really helpful. And then he told me, he was like, well, I can see you have something in you that's going to get you far. And I'm like, what? And he was like, attitude. You have attitude. He was like, your little self marched in here with all us big men, and you pretty much told us what we were going to do. And he was like, you command, like, respect. And he was like, that's going to get you far. That'll get you far in the Navy. So that made me feel really good. And he was like, you have it. And, he was like, you have it. And he was like, don't ever change that. So that made me feel good. Kudos to us little feisty girls. Don't let them get over. And so just choose your rate, guys. Do research before you go in there. They're going to give you they'll give you, you don't have no time to research it. Do all your research before. Find something that you know that you want to do. If you want to change your rate, talk to your recruiter, because they can change it. They can change it. So don't let them tell you that they can't. They're just trying to save the good jobs for people who may be harder to convince to, join the Navy than you are. So don't settle. And, do your own research so you know what's going on. Oh, and my A school is in Mississippi, and it's 8 weeks. So that's good, because I can be with my family sooner. They told me after the first command that my family can join me, so that's great. But more videos to come, guys, and I hope that helps someone. They won't tell you it's not a job for you, but you know what's good for you. So, okay, bye.